Hey everyone, welcome to our coverage of the Smokin Aces Tour Championship Nick Rutter Memorial. We got some fantastic golf coming up for you right now. Got myself, Robert McCall, on the mic, along with Anthony Heuvel.
Hello, hello.
Anthony was on the camera all week, so he's going to provide some insight on the conditions that the players were playing and just what we can look forward to with the course.
So coming into the round, this is the final round. Derek Green and Andrew Presnell are both tied at 5 under par, with Zack Johnson right behind at 4 under, and then Bryan Johnson coming in at 3 under par. So it's a very close card. Definitely going to see some good action out here.
All right. Tell us about hole one, yeah.
Yeah, hole one is a 641-foot par 4. Now you can see kind of some rocks down there. That's the short pin. We are going to be playing to the long pin, which is probably another 150 or 180 feet back and then to the left. So they're wanting to play to that pin, and then they're just going to throw a nice hyzer approach to the basket that you can see here. It is a little bit windy, so there is something to deal with there, but it shouldn't be too difficult. Really a hole that these pros are going to want to start off with a birdie for sure.
Yeah. When you say a little windy, how windy are we talking?
Right now, it was probably 5 to 12 miles an hour.
Okay.
But as the round goes on, the wind does pick up considerably. So Derek Green teeing off, and you can see there gets a pretty solid wind bounce in the wrong direction, unfortunately.
Yeah, it looks like he's pinched a little to the left and even hopped into the woods on the left. So,
yeah.
I mean, having not played the course, I can say that's probably not where you want to be.
If there's one spot you don't want to be, it's definitely in those trees to the left.
That's right.
He's pretty much left with only a pitch out. Andrew Presnell throws very far.
Yeah, that's a smash. A little turn into the wind and cruising over toward the... No. Dude, it did not.
Yes.
It did not hit that.
100% did.
If we were playing the short pin, he's the happiest man on earth. Since we're not, he's very upset.
Yeah. He wasn't super mad because he thought he was going left into the trees as well, like Derek. So he was okay with it a little bit. And Zack is throwing a Lucid X Enforcer. There's a right to left, like I said, probably 5 to 10 mile an hour wind, and he threw that like 45 degrees of Anheuser.
Yeah, that was crushed, but he's just using the wind to his advantage there.
Yep. He even said after that, he said, I know it's a Lucid X, I know it's coming back. And you can see there on Brian's shirt, it is very windy now, and he did not quite get the same wind read from Zack. I think he went a little bit too understable there, and it kind of rolled into the ground.
I gotcha. So this looks like a forehand roller.
Yes, which...
Right to left wind, so...
Yes.
Sure, a play to get to the pin, but...
Very risky.
Yeah, definitely.
Super, super risky. This is a risk-reward shot for sure. And that got, smashed probably 30 to 40 feet left out of his hand.
Yeah, before it even hit the ground, like the angle out of his hand, I think, was really good.
Yeah, no wind. He's probably parked.
Right.
Unfortunately, we have some considerable winds.
Looks like we've got some wind.
Yes.
So Derek Green at the time of this event was 976 rated, and he put up a 63 first round. That was 1017 rated. So playing a little bit higher than his rating right now, but putting on a good show. So that for him was just a little shot out. Make sure that he has an open look at the basket.
Yeah, he pretty much after that drive was playing this for a par. Zack, I believe that's his Lucid Justice.
Yep, that's what it looks like.
Yeah. So he's got a decent birdie look there. The tree is kind of pinching him off, but he should be able to straddle out and have a good look.
I got to play with Presnell some this year, and this is one of those shots that he's pretty darn solid at. Just this little putter, 200, 150. I believe that's a harp.
Yes.
That he's just throwing really soft. He's got good touch with it. Really good player.
Mm-hmm. I like that you said this is a shot he's really good at.
He's good at lots of shots.
You could repeat that every time he's on camera.
That's totally fair.
He is just really good. So this is Bryan after that roller. Not the ideal spot you want to be for your 3.
Right.
Tried to go roller again.
Yeah, and if that gets up to straight up and down, maybe it moves left. But just didn't quite get the wind read that he wanted.
Yeah.
At the time of the event, Bryan was rated 989 and shot a 1004 rated 65 the first round. So a little bit over his rating. Feeling pretty good.
And the first round this is at the new Melle Lakes golf course. This is a brand new course that was put in about a month ago. The first round was at the Harmony Bends course in Columbia. So
I've heard great things about that place.
I've heard only good things. Bryan there kind of laying it up for his bogey. Goes a little bit long. And now he's got a little bit of a tester putt, slightly uphill, back into the wind. And you can see it's picking up a little bit, blowing on his shirt.
So for the viewers who haven't seen Bryan play before, he's thrown a whole lot of forehands. Is that pretty much all he throws, or does he throw a backhand here and there?
Yes. I cannot recall a time, aside from putting, if you want to call it backhands, where he threw a backhand this entire round.
Okay. So 100% forehand.
Yes. And I believe he putts with the shield as well.
That's what it looked like, yeah. So, and if it was a right to left wind earlier, now it's a left to right and slight headwind for him right there.
Yep. Now Zack is doing something really cool that I've never seen before. He's putting not only upside down, but he's using a VIP harp. It gets a little bit too stable on him there, but with the wind, he said that's something he practices. It's something he's done so much that he's confident with it. It really, the wind doesn't affect it. When he flips it upside down like that, it's just a straight up and down putt.
It kind of flies like a brick, but it's going to move to the left. Like it kind of falls out left as you throw it. So great for windy situations like this, especially if you've practiced it. If you haven't, then it's going to surprise you the first couple times you throw it.
So now there is a few times here where we had CTPs on par 4s. So it was a second shot CTP, and Andrew's walking it off, and it was, what was that, like 4.5 steps, 5 steps, almost exactly.
Yeah.
From where the CTP was, so he had to bust out a golden retriever, and they're using the string to measure it.
We got real technical on the CTP here this time.
100%. Look at this. It is within about an inch.
Wow.
He got the CTP.
Nice.
So.
There you go, Pretzel Man. Well done.
So Andrew, with the birdie and the CTP, moves into the lead now at 6 under par. Derek is one back of him at 4. Derek is at 5. Zack is at 4. Bryan, with the unfortunate 6, moves down to 1 under par. Moving into hole 2, it's a 333-foot par 3. It plays kind of like a really late turnover or a really late fading sidearm. I threw in practice, I threw Maverick, and it turned a little bit early, so I threw sidearm with an enforcer, and it hit the cage.
Okay, that's good.
Sidearm enforcer is definitely the play here.
for anyone who comes to the course, pull out your enforcer.
1,000%. So you can see the basket there kind of tucked into the right. There is that path that if you get like a huge skip, it's gonna fight down on a sidearm. But I feel like the sidearm is definitely the play here on this one. So we should see Bryan hopefully bouncing back from that unfortunate double bogey.
Yeah, definitely. This is a hole that shapes to his strength if he likes the forehands.
100%. Andrew, I'm not sure what this disc is that he's throwing, but he's taking the backhand. It's something fairly understable, and the wind just said no.
No, dude.
It's understable, but not understable enough for that wind, and he almost took out Bobby's legs.
Heads up, man.
Derek taking the sidearm line. I'm not sure what this disc is. He is sponsored by Legacy, so it's probably one of their higher speed drivers, it looks like. That's a little too turned over. There is still that same strong right to left wind. Zack with, I believe that's an Ati that he's throwing there. And you can see that's holding up.
It's got really good stability at the end. Oh.
That is the one tree.
Dude.
You either have to go inside of that tree or outside of that tree. Zack, unfortunately, went into that tree.
Those can be some of the most frustrating ones when you hit it just how you wanted to, and it's got one tree to beat, and you just square it up.
Yep.
Just, come on, man. Give me something.
Bryan goes just inside. I believe that's a felon.
Okay.
And he's probably left with about 20 feet there. You can see the basket.
Nice.
Maybe 25 downhill looking straight at it.
So this is a touchy upshot then for Derek. I mean, he's having to turn something over with that right to left wind. It is going to be in the trees, so blocked off from the wind just a little bit, but I mean, that's a very touchy shot, and he's executed it really, really well. That's impressive. Slightly
downhill, so he wants to keep it low so that it doesn't go too far past. And he did just that, threw it a couple feet off the ground, and it's parked.
Hey, here's a left-handed throw.
Yeah, so Zack just said, I'm not going to throw a normal putt the entire round. There's wind. I'm going to play on hard mode, flip the putter upside down.
Throw it left-handed.
Go lefty, yeah. After that, I told him, I was like, oh, so you're just going to bust out all the tricks for the camera now, huh? He said, yeah, if it works, it works.
That was impressive. I can guarantee if I putted that left-hand, it does not end inside 20 feet.
No. Andrew just a little bit high left there. Should have a nice easy through with that little backstop.
Yeah, plenty of trees between himself and the basket to contend with there. So, yeah, taking a 3 after that drive is not bad.
Bryan's really wanting to convert this, pick up a stroke on the card, and come back from that double bogey on hole 1.
Oh, you're going to love it.
Bang. That's perfect. That is
strong side, good catch. Well done.
Yeah, that's how you draw this hole up. Everyone else is going to be tapping in for their pars. Really one that most of these guys are going to want to get, but I feel like it's one that you're not super upset about if you don't get, just because there is that tree right in the fairway, and there's so many guardian trees. So Bryan picks up the only birdie, moving him back to 2 under par. Still 2 back of Zack in 3rd place, and then Bryan at 5 under, Andrew at 6 under, taking 1st and 2nd. Moving into hole 3 is a 621-foot par 4.
This looks beautiful.
It is absolutely gorgeous. It's not one that you're going to want to try an eagle.
Okay.
It is definitely a 2-shot hole, unless you have probably 560 to clear the water.
Yeah.
It is a little bit downhill, but it's just a 2-shot hole. You're going to be seeing a lot of layups to the edge of the water and then some approach shots. And this was actually where the wind started really picking up. You can't see it too much on Bryan's shirt there, but I would guess this is where the wind gets up into that 15, 20 mile an hour category.
Right, where it's really affecting you.
Oh, yeah. And he is throwing a sidearm, just like I said, a layup shot, probably 250, 300 maybe to the water. It is a little bit downhill.
Look at that extra roll on there.
And it rolled even more than that. He's going to be tucked into those trees there.
Oh, that's brutal.
Yeah.
That's a bad break.
Yes. You can really see the wind on Andrew there.
This is a tough shot for a right-hand backhand player because if the wind's coming off your right shoulder, you leave this just a little bit high, it could carry straight to the water.
100%.
Well, look at that lift.
Yes.
Oh, goodness.
Super strong tailwind. I'm guessing he was expecting it to drop, and it lifted on him. So he was worried. When we got up to his up shots there, he was like, yep, had to use every little bit of the fairway. It was probably about 20 feet farther than he was meaning to throw that. But safe is safe on this one. Derek throwing some sort of, it's a really overstable approach disc. I'm not sure what it is exactly.
Yep. And he doesn't want to flirt with that right side at all.
Mm-mm.
And that's about as close to the water as you can really get.
Yeah, you don't want to get any closer than that. And because he got so far left, he does have a little bit more of an open approach. We'll say there is a tree short right of the basket that is kind of blocking that big hyzer approach. So the farther left you can get, the easier it is.
Right. It looks like if you're throwing backhanded into the screen, you do want to be a little bit farther left.
Yes. Zack with that, he was deciding between his Ati and his Justice, went with the Ati, and that's
textbook.
prime landing. Yep.
So Derek has won 2 events this year. One of them, 15th of September, was the Smokin Aces Presents Illside Open. He went 997 first round, 1049 second round.
Decent.
Yeah. You're going to like it.
Seems good.
Yeah, that's right. So coming over the water, like we said, if the wind is holding true, that's going to be coming off his right shoulder, right to left wind, and that's kind of a hard one to get the wing over into at all. It's going to push it down if you get it over too much, and it looks like that's what he's done. But he is safe across the water, so no problems there.
Definitely. Andrew throwing just the straight mid. That is the straightest mid.
That's so impressive. Like with that wind coming over, just to get the edge over and have it hold straight, that's such a technical shot.
Ridiculous. And it came in just short of that tree. He's probably inside 25, I would say 20 feet maybe. Zack going Ati. It's a little bit of a reverse skip off that hill, but safe on the island. He'll
Safe
have
in putting.
Yep. So that was Bryan's.
Yeah, just a pitch out.
Yeah, he didn't really have anything. So he's got this for his 3 now. Not what he was looking for after that birdie on hole 2, but with a sidearm game that he has, should be a pretty easy up and down for him.
Yeah. Get it turned over a little, let the stability of the disc work for you. Yeah, it hops up that hill even. That's a good shot.
Yep, and that is one of his Opto Ballista Pros.
Cool.
He throws that thing all over this day. Excuse me.
Yeah, that's just a safe play from Derek there. Just being smart.
Yep. So Zack is now going back to the putting games.
Here's a forehand putt.
And it's not even his putter. It's a VIP harp. So 3 holes, 3 putts for
none of them traditional.
No. Zack has not thrown a normal putt yet.
That's awesome. But yeah, just playing safe. If you get back into those woods, it looks like you could be obscured from the basket really quickly.
Yep, and that was what he said. He just wanted to get it there. If it goes in, cool.
Yeah.
If not, he doesn't want to mess with that wind on his par putt, which Bryan unfortunately couldn't convert his par putt there. So now we've got Andrew looking at his birdie.
Oh, that's one of those that, man, if it's just a couple of inches left, that's in all day. But when it hits that far right, it kind of becomes like a 50-50. So if it stays, you're really stoked. And if it goes out, you're like, oh, darn it, man.
Dang it.
Yeah.
Yep. So I don't know if he was expecting a little more help from the wind there or just the slightest misfire. But everyone will be getting pars. Bryan with the lone bogey. Not how you want to follow up the lone birdie.
Sure. That doesn't seem like a gimme birdie at all, though. Like
Absolutely
it's
not.
well-executed birdie.
With those conditions, very difficult. So moving into hole 4, we do have the same stroke leads for first, second, and third. Bryan will move back down to 1 under par. Hole 4 is a 265-foot par 3, and there's a couple different trees on this one. I don't know if you can see it, but there is
1, 2, 3, 1,000.
Yeah.
There's 1,000 trees.
Yes. It is kind of like a straight shot that you want to finish overstable, but you kind of want to work it right a little bit. It's a really technical shot. This is kind of one of the holes where you can tell it's a newer course, and there's not a really obvious fair line. There are definitely lines. There are shots to get to the basket for sure, but there isn't, like we've seen with the more open shots. We are getting into the woods, into those trees. Andrew throwing the same disc that he threw on hole 2.
Yeah, just that kind of late turn.
Mm-hmm.
I like that, but a little bit of a bad kick to the left.
Yeah.
It looks like that left gap is the way to go.
Definitely. And I believe that is the line that Derek is going to show us as well. This is some sort of a straight putter that he's throwing.
Yeah, baby.
Turn it over a little bit, let it work back.
Nice. That's a clean line.
That's the shot. You just want to do that.
Yeah. So take notes, anyone who's coming to play this course.
Yeah.
Just do that, and then you're good. You're set.
Nice and easy. Zack is throwing a Cenis.
Yeah, it looks like the angle he was holding it on looks like he's going to force this over pretty hard.
Yeah, just get a little bit left to right action. Get smacked by the tree.
Dude, the angle on that looked really, really good, too.
Yeah.
And then he got a lot more angle than he had anticipated. Tree-aided angle, yeah.
So Bryan going back to, I believe that's like a felon or something that he's
Dude, look at this flexor. Oh,
yeah.
Kick to the left, yeah. If it looked like if he misses that tree and he's maybe just a little bit right in that flight, he's looking at the basket. Maybe not parked, but probably inside the circle.
He would have a much better putt than this little chip up shot.
Oh, that he almost dunked.
Doesn't even care.
Maybe that's the play, and we don't even know.
Just do that. Hit a tree, kick to about 100 short.
Yeah.
And then,
hit the top of the basket, almost make it.
Yeah.
That was sick. That was awesome.
Andrew is pretty much in jail here.
Yeah, it looks like that's a lot of trouble. And that's a hard enough shot coming out of the woods when there's no wind.
Yes.
Add the wind in, and you can start your disc on the angle that you want, and then it's like, well, good luck.
Yep.
Go fight wind. Do something. Ooh, that's a good bid from Zack. Still covered quite a bit of the distance on the fairway, just a little over the basket. And it looked like he putted with that same Cenis.
Yep. Yeah, it's not a super long hole. It's only 265, but it does play every bit of 265.
Right. That's a good conversion there for Derek. This one looks like it feels really good to get, just especially on a windy day like this, lead card. Yeah, pick one up on the card. That's a good one.
Definitely. Zack with the first normal putt of the round converts that one. Bryan for his almost birdie, but unfortunate par putt. Takes his time. Nice and easy in the center.
I like that, and I respect this about a lot of golfers. When you've got a routine and you stick to it, no matter how short the putt is. I mean, unless it's a drop-in.
Yeah, sure.
But something like that, those 15-footers, if you get a little lackadaisical with them, it's really easy to miss those if you're not paying attention. So good on you for sticking to your routine.
So Derek with the solo birdie now ties Andrew at the lead. They have a 2-stroke lead over Zack, and then 5 back of the lead is Bryan. Moving into hole 5, this is actually not the tee pad we're playing. Off to the right, you can see the tee pad.
Okay.
This is actually a 5K, 10K ace hole.
Nice.
So,
okay, awesome.
Yeah, if anyone aces with Dynamic Discs, Latitude, or Westside Discs, it's 10 grand.
Sweet.
If they ace with any other manufacturer's disc, it is 5,000.
Sweet.
So it plays
Still awesome.
Still very, very cool. Yes.
Any number of thousands for one throw.
I will take 1,000.
Yeah.
I don't even need multiple.
Yeah. Any number is good. All right, so part of the stipulations is that you have to turn to the camera and say what disc you're throwing, that it's, PDGA approved and all that stuff to make sure it's not an illegal disc, and then you just throw it up there.
Yep. So as you can see, the basket's right there, 302 feet, not a single tree in the fairway. The only real danger is that the basket is up on, this is a converted ball golf course.
Right.
And it's on an old elevated tee for the ball golf course.
So that's a good shot if it's not a 5-10K hole.
Yes. Very good.
Since it is,
shot.
it's like, oh, man.
Super good golf shot. Not a good bank account.
Yeah.
Shot.
We had one of these at Piney Woods, and I said if I hit it, I was just going to just throw my bag in the middle of the road, run over it on the way out of the park, and then just say, hey, I quit, but
Done.
But thanks for the $10,000.
So Andrew threw Harp, came up a little bit short. There's a super strong tailwind on this one, making it a lot more difficult than your typical wide open 300-foot shot would be.
Right. Looked like he threw it with plenty of height, and it just got super smashed.
Yep.
Yeah. So this is that same Ati for Zack, right?
Yep.
Yep.
And he forced it over a little bit more than he meant, but it stays inside of those trees. It just goes 100 feet long because Zack throws far.
But I respect it because, dude, come on.
Didn't miss short. Didn't miss short.
Shot at 10,000.
You got to do it. Bryan going to be taking a little wind read off of that, also taking the sidearm line. And like I said, I think he said this was a Felon. I could be mistaken on that one. It flies very similar to a Felon.
Yeah.
If it's not.
And that's a little extra turn from him as well. But tracking right, I mean, it's going to be a little past it. Oh, hey, just kidding. It's going to roll away forever.
Psych.
God, that's super unlucky, man. I mean, he's still right there. He's still, 30, 35. But in wind like this, those don't feel easy. Or not easy because they never feel easy, but maybe not comfortable anymore.
Absolutely not, no. Zack going back to the obscure putting well.
Get out of here. Oh, my goodness. I'm going to go try that. Like, I've tried that before, but just joking around. I want to try it seriously and see how hard it is because that looks like he threw a really, really good putt right there.
Yes. So Bryan he went up there to test the wind, and spoiler alert, the wind is ripping at this point.
It's still there.
Yes. If you can't tell by the trees and by people's shirts and things like that, it is very much, I mean, it's every bit of 20 miles an hour at this point.
And it's from his right to left now. So if he puts on hyzer, it's got a good chance to lift.
Absolutely.
Got to keep this flat. Oh.
What was that you saying
is there some wind out there?
Yeah, a little bit.
So one of the difficulties in putting with that right to left wind is if you don't quite commit to your line, once the disc slows down, it's even more affected by the wind. And so what could have been, just a moderate lift is now a huge lift. That's a tough break. Yeah. Andrew just playing smart there.
Yeah, after that wind read, because now Bryan has almost the same putt just from the other side now.
Right.
And so he just said, I'm going to play it safe, take my par.
I'm going to say he's going to have to throw this really high if it has any hyzer just to get it to drop into the basket.
Yeah. So Derek with the look at birdie, a little bit scary, kind of a tailwind with a drop off behind it. You don't care.
He's never been scared. I think it says that on his PDGA profile.
Derek never been scared green.
Yeah. It's not a nickname. It just says it on the page. And then everyone's like, oh, cool.
All right, man. Now I'm scared.
Yeah. What the heck? I have been scared before.
I know what that feels like.
So we got a birdie, a couple pars, and a bogey here for the card, yeah?
Yep. Which, going into the hole or going into the round, I bet all four of them would say they wanted to birdie it. Yeah. But with that 20-mile-an-hour wind, you're not mad at par.
Yep.
Bryan not super stoked with the bogey, but it is what it is.
Yep.
Moving into hole 6, 618-foot par 4 as well. And this is one of my favorite holes on this course.
This is beautiful. Like, just open drive, trouble on a little bit of the size, but you can let loose a little bit here.
Absolutely. You can see a short pin in those rocks there, but we were actually playing to the pin in the long position. There's another kind of middle position there off to the right of the screen, but you can see it in the distance there. You got to throw a huge drive, and then you want to throw a nice touchy approach shot that battles through all these trees.
I love this.
You can't miss long because there's a drop-off right behind the basket with a bunch of weeds and undergrowth and things like that. So it is a very technical shot. Really a really well-done course as a whole. You see a lot of shots out here that you don't see on typical converted ball golf courses.
Right. So it looks like the shape of this hole ideally is just to throw something pretty much as far out as you can that finishes to the left, and then something that you can kind of touch through the woods to the right. So almost like an S shape if you're looking at it from the tee.
Yep. Yeah.
But it looks like you really do have to get out there, either really far or really left to get a decent look at the upshot.
Yeah, far is better than left for sure. And far is something that Andrew can do.
Yeah, it looks like he's got that.
Yes.
That's smashed.
Yeah, that's almost perfect.
And throwing into this uphill like this, even having not seen this course, I can tell you the benefit of being able to see the whole basket on your approach. it just feels so much more comfortable depth perception wise to be able to see where the pole meets the grass. Then it's a lot easier to judge where you're at. And yeah, that's super important. Same for Zack here. He's got a great look at an upshot there.
Absolutely. Zack is in prime spot. If you could walk up and set your disc down, that is where you'd want it to be.
Okay, now, but I want to set my disc like just in the basket.
Nah.
Okay.
Can't do that.
Oh, that's not an option? Okay, I'll take
Nope.
Zack's then.
So Bryan parks the short position, which is really good if we were playing that. Unfortunately for him, we are not.
So he's going to have a few extra trees.
Yes.
A bonus trees, you might say.
And a rock.
Yeah. Derek's taking a low thumber here. Oh, and it looked like the idea was to kind of get that flat on its back so that it would move hard to the right.
Yeah.
He just kept it up a little high in the air. That's a brave shot.
It's risky.
I'm so scared to throw that.
Bryan with, I believe that's
Wow,
some sort of a mid-range and perfect.
Dude, he doesn't care about the rocks or the
No.
bonus trees.
And this is another one of the par 4 second shot CTPs as well. So Bryan is going to be extremely happy with that.
He's looking pretty good so far.
Basically drop in birdie, pretty much guaranteed himself the CTP.
Oh, just kidding.
Psych. Andrew said, I hope you enjoyed it, because mine now.
Pretzel Band says, I drink your CTP. I drink it up. No way. Oh, man.
Yeah.
If he hit the pole, he's so good. He's still pretty good.
Yes. And from where Zack was, we saw it stand up and roll, and then there was nothing. So we assumed it just kept going. So he was pretty frustrated about that because we thought he was at the bottom of the hill.
Right.
Because that hill, right where his disc stops, it drops off.
Just forever is what it looks like.
Yeah.
So back to the VIP harp here.
Obviously.
Oh, man.
Just a little bit high.
It's super frustrating for me to throw an uphill putt that you're like, all right, just commit to the height. Make sure it's high enough. And you commit to it that 1 inch too much.
And it's still too high.
Oh, just come on.
So
There you go.
Zack-
That's a good save.
Yep. Zack and Derek with the pars. Andrew with the CTP birdie. And here, him and Bryan are like, you know what? You want to just split it? And
They're like, yep.
Bryan said, you got it on camera, so they have to split it now. And then I heard Bryan say to himself, he's like, all right, now don't miss.
Yeah.
He did not miss.
Okay, now, just general rule of thumb, not the best thought to have right before you putt.
No,
You're going to want to think about making
it's
it.
an accurate thought.
But it is an accurate
It
thought.
is one that you will not want to miss.
That's right. A couple good birdies there.
Absolutely. Derek and Andrew both tied for the lead at 7 under par. Moving into hole 7, it is a 594-foot par 4. And if I showed you this hole, you would never guess that this is an old ball golf course. This is woods, and then more
Right.
woods. That's the short tee pad right there, which is basically the ideal landing zone from the long tee. You really want to get up there, and then anything into this area where the drone is now is perfect because you just have this long, straight tunnel for probably 250, I would say, 200, 250 feet, where you really just, there's a little bit of room off to the left and right, but you want to peer something through that gap. And then there's the basket right there.
Sure. So the drive ideally finishes a little bit in front of and left of the short tee pad.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
That sets you up for that straight tunnel shot. It looks like if you're a little ways back from that, those relatively, maybe not fair isn't the best way to say it, but relatively like attainable gaps become a lot smaller if you're a little bit farther back.
Yes. It was funny, before this one, there was a little bit of a
Oh,
backup.
no.
Eesh. Andrew just kind of yanked that
So it
one.
looks like he was playing for that aggressive skip around the corner to get maybe up and as far left as he possibly could. But yeah, just held on to it a bit and got a really punishing kick to the right there.
Yeah. It looks fairly wide from the camera angle, but it's not more than maybe 12 feet wide.
Look at this thing. Oh, I look at this thing. I'm sorry.
yeah.
It's like nicing.
Typical.
It's like nicing it, except for way after the fact. So yeah, good start on that angle. Just kicked back to the right, and that's actually a good kick. He's going to be
Yes.
in the first part of the fairway, so probably not looking at birdie, but still alive, like not totally dead.
He's not looking at double bogey.
Okay, so there's just by the short tee pad.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty good shot.
And this one, Zack was talking about how he's like, man, I just want to not hit trees.
Okay,
I just want to not hit trees.
threw straight at all trees. Missed all trees.
Didn't hit trees.
That's his new swing thought.
Yeah.
I just don't want to hit
Just
trees.
don't hit trees. I'm going to throw straight at them and not hit them.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah. Andrew with the really unfortunate kick off of not a typical Andrew drive.
No, just pulled a bit right.
Yeah, he is tucked in there.
Yeah, he's got some stuff to navigate here. This is like a lot of bonus trees.
Yes.
Like extra credit trees.
He hit the bonus tree jackpot.
You wouldn't know it from that shot though, because that's like, I mean, that's in a really good spot, right?
Yes.
Maybe a little tight to the trees, like at the front of the gap, but
Sure.
still there.
If you had thrown that drive, you would be like, okay, I'm basically taking a bogey. He is now
Right.
very much in Parville.
Yeah. Ooh, that had some pace on it.
Yes.
Did that have a chance to finish in the fairway, or was it going to push too far right, you
It
think?
was probably going to push too far right. I'm not sure how overstable that disc is.
Sure.
But if it is any sort of overstable, it's going to finish a little bit right.
But still maybe attainable for the par.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is not a sidearm friendly hole at all. It is a Derek Green friendly hole.
Dude, have you checked his PDJ page recently?
Not scared.
It says he's never been scared.
So there's the basket, and this is where Zach's drive landed. And he came over to it and stood on it for a second and looked. And he looked at me. He said, all right, what are we doing? I was like, I don't know.
I don't know, man.
He didn't know either. So this is that VIP Ati again, just on some line that doesn't exist.
Wow.
But he got it most of the way there.
Yeah, and it looked like maybe without that branch, it had a chance. It had the distance probably to carry all the way to the basket.
Absolutely.
So forehand is not Andrew's first choice on shots.
No.
And there you see it. Actually, a really good angle. Just let it go just a little bit early.
Yep.
Pushed right.
That was what he said. He said, if that's a foot left, it's
Oh,
perfect.
it's golden,
It's
yeah.
perfect. So, unfortunate, just a slight miss there. Derek Green is, or excuse me, Bryan, not Derek. Bryan is looking at a forehand roller, and
Yeah.
it's tough to tell on camera.
That took a rocket kick left.
Yes, but it's perfect.
Seriously.
Yes, he has
Wow.
an actual putt for that.
Wow.
Ridiculous shot. I saw him lining that up, and I was like, dude, what are you doing?
Bro,
Remember
bro,
hole one?
take your medicine.
That didn't, yeah.
Yeah, that's a great shot.
Andrew with
And
that
that's so tough. Yeah, being pinned on the tree on your right side to turn it over and have it hold with the slope of the fairway sloping down right to left. Incredibly technically difficult
Yes.
shot.
Yes. Not only technically difficult, but mentally.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to be thinking about that tree. Don't hit your arm. Don't hit your hand. All
Mm-hmm.
that stuff. And he learned from Derek, and he's never been scared.
Yeah, that's right. Derek with kind of the long jump putt, maybe to take a little bit of his arm out of it throwing, just to keep the disc in front of him, keep his eyes on where he's trying to throw, and just push it a little bit right. Anytime, I actually do that a lot when I'm trying to run those long jump putts. They come out with a little bit of wobble and they want to go right.
Yeah. So, Bryan, not super parked, but considering where he was,
Yeah. I feel like you'll take bogey from that drive pretty much every time.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Andrew kind of just getting it up there.
Yeah, like a little half run if it goes, cool. If not, you're not too far past.
Yeah. With his drive and then that third shot bonking off the tree there, he's not super stoked, but he's happy to get out of this hole. Derek with the
That's a
super
great
nice
par.
conversion. He's going to pick up a few on Andrew.
If you had to guess, how many birdies do you think there were on this hole on the weekend? We don't have the stats. I'm just curious.
I would put the over-under on 3 and take the under.
Yeah.
It's 2 perfect shots.
Yeah.
2 really, really good shots.
Ooh, look at that catch.
Zachariah.
Yeah, there you go.
He was stoked for that one to stay in there.
Oh, yeah. Anytime you catch them on the right and they stay, you're like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you very much.
Absolutely. So Andrew with the unfortunate double bogey there. Bryan is going to tap in for his regular old plain bogey, and we will get out of that hole. That is a tough one that I'm sure these guys are happy is in the rearview mirror now,
Yeah, that hole had some teeth for sure.
without a doubt. Derek taking the solo lead at 7 under. Andrew stays in second at 5 under. Zach one back of that at 4 under. Moving into hole 8, it's a 380-foot par 3, and you want to throw like a long turning but not super turned over shot.
Okay.
It's a very gentle turn, and then it does finish back to the left at the end here.
Okay.
So you want to split these trees right here and then start panning out, and the basket is going to be up here to the left on the other side of this ridge. So it says it's a par 3, but it is, if you two'd this, you're probably throwing it in because it's every
Right.
bit of 380 feet, uphill, turned over, panning back down the hill to the left, battling, as we call them, bonus trees.
Yeah,
There
all
are
the extra bonus trees.
many bonus trees.
Yeah, so I'm trying to envision a shot that gets all the way to the basket, and it would have to be something really overstable that you just crank on,
Yes.
and then it just goes perfectly.
Yes. You would
Okay.
have to miss a million trees with like an enforcer turned over.
Okay, yeah.
Basically.
So Derek's hit left and kicked left. Looks like not a great spot for this hole.
No. Zach, I believe, was trying to go forehand roller,
Yeah,
and that either came out too high or something, but he turned around and was like, whoops, that's not good.
that's not where you're looking to land.
Is definitely not where you're looking to land.
So Brian's just playing for position here, right?
Yep.
Okay. At least that was the idea.
That was the idea.
That is not the position he was trying for, but
No.
but finishing right, it looks like that opens up the angle to the green a little bit if you push forward enough.
Exactly.
Okay.
Andrew taking that backhand, getting kicked as well. So you can see already this hole is tough.
Yeah, it says par 3, but it seems like I'd be elated with 3.
Yes. A 3 on this hole I feel like would be perfect.
Yeah.
Best case scenario.
All right.
I don't have the stats, but as far as hardest hole on the course,
Relative to par,
this one would have to be up there.
that seems like a good bet. That's a great shot.
Bryan, yeah, maybe that was the position he was playing for.
Good point.
You got to know your game, and he knows he's got that forehand roller game down. Andrew's kind of battling this. Vine is attached to the tree, so he can't move it, and it is directly in his swing.
Right.
So he kind of had to force something, and just
Yeah.
nothing you could do from there.
Yeah, kicked left to the fairway, but still, I mean, it's once you're there, it's almost bogey at best,
Yeah.
Unless you pull off a miracle, and that's just it's not miracle land right there.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that was so close.
Yes. That is his. It's a
That looked
special
like a
edition.
Maverick.
It is a Maverick that he got from Country Club Classic, which
Right.
was the last time we filmed him.
Thanks for bringing it up.
You
Gosh.
do you know anything about that?
I've
Did you
never
happen
heard
to play
anything
it?
about it. It's a cool course, but I've never played it.
No,
so
okay. So Derek taking notes off of Bryan there and trying to go forehand roller, but just cut in a little bit early. Now Andrew with some sort of a fairway driver, it looks like.
yeah, he's still got some work to do.
Looks like he's trying to go maybe a skip shot
Mhm.
just to get around the corner and get the distance.
Oh
Just
man,
can't catch a break.
yeah, that's really rough right there.
As we were talking about with bonus trees, this hole has them in spades.
Right. Well, and once you're there, oh, that's a bad kick too.
Mhm.
That's headed toward the basket and then kicks right. When you're in the woods like this and you're throwing your third or fourth shot on what is a par 3, I'm doing air quotes, even though you can't see it, and you're still having to take a run up, that feels really bad.
Yes.
That's just unfortunate tree after unfortunate tree at this point.
And I'm sure he was hoping to get out of here with probably a par after taking the double bogey on hole 7. I'm sure he was
Yeah.
trying to just stop
The bleeding, yeah.
Yeah. So this is actually Bryan's look for a 3.
Yeah,
And he can see the basket, which nobody else could say.
right.
Kind of an awkward stance, but
Oh, little branch,
little branch.
says no. Branch said, oh man, is that a 6?
Back to back. I bet you if you told Andrew, are you going to miss this putt right, he would have said no way.
Yeah,
Because he
impossible.
Had to, he had to straddle all the way left to get around those trees, and it took that kick.
Right.
Not only did he just barely bounce it off the cage, or excuse me, off the band, now he's still got probably 15, 20 feet.
Yeah, I asked, is that a 6? And he still had a putt left.
Yeah.
Golly, that sucks, man. That's brutal. What a tough hole.
Just for good measure there for his par, Zack had to flip the putter upside down, just keep the trend alive.
So yeah, I mean, let's for all intents and purposes call this a par 4.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that's what it plays
It
like.
definitely should be. Derek with the 6 under par is now considerably in the lead.
Yeah.
Zack actually moves into second place at 3 under. Andrew with the unfortunate double bogey train moves to third place at 2 under. Moving into hole 9, this is an absolutely gorgeous hole.
Yeah.
It's a straight shot, but it doesn't look like it, but you have room to kind of flex
Out to the right a little bit?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's just these kind of little trees here. There's that one big tree the drone just passed that you want to get past, and then really just beat any of these little trees, and you're going to have a putt for your 2.
Right.
It's only 321 feet, so really it's kind of up to you what you throw. You can crank a mid-range or power down on a fairway or distance driver. It's really up to you. Whatever's going to go straight.
It looks like once you beat that initial gap, then your goal is just to get lucky with the little trees.
Yeah.
And I think that is also something that you said earlier about this kind of being a new course.
Yep.
As a few of those trees get hit a little bit more, maybe a couple of the little trees get taken out, this looks like a beautiful hole.
Absolutely.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, this is his Fusion Enforcer he threw, speaking of country club. He
Oh,
threw
wow.
all over.
Oh, that is pure. Super pure. Oh, friend of the trees, Zack Johnson.
Yeah.
Wow, yes. Please give us another look at that.
So you can see just a little bit of a flex, fights out, and then gets the most perfect skip through
Oh
all
my
the
gosh.
trees, kick and roll. Watch
It's so beautiful.
Yeah, that is perfect.
This is like going to an art museum and being like, wow, there's something that I could never do, but I can
I
appreciate.
get it.
That's a beautiful. And here's a great line, too. And just the late kick to the left.
Yeah, and it's trouble down there.
Yeah. That's one of the difficulties with wooded golf is you walk up to a hole like this. Ooh, that's a nice line from Presnell.
If it just gets left.
Yeah, it looks like it got eaten up a little bit right there.
Yeah.
You walk up to a hole like this and you're like, wow, this is so beautiful. But you hit one tree and you're like, this is the worst.
Sucks.
Why did I ever come out here?
Derek with.
Oh, he juiced it. The backboard trees.
That's why they're
backboard
hurt.
trees to the rescue.
Hey, if you got trees, use them to your advantage.
Those are the real bonus trees.
Those are the trees that provide bonus.
That's right. Dang, man. That's such a great feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Give it a little extra juice and it stops for you. You're like, thank you
Yep.
for your par.
Bryan with a friendly little roll.
There we go. Yeah, for all the unlucky kicks that you get, it feels really good to get a good one.
Yeah.
So this is Presnell for his 2. And this looks like about, what do you think, 45?
At least, yeah.
Yeah.
Just a little high.
And he likes putting with a little hyzer, so the trees that were on his right were kind of blocking that off just a little bit.
Yeah.
He had to put it on a little bit of a more uncomfortable angle for him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a good stick, especially just to get off the 6 train, you know. Tough couple of holes. That's a good confidence putt. I mean, you know, he's not stoked,
He's not stoked with a par.
but it could have been worse.
It could have been a lot worse for sure. Bryan, it was funny. We were walking up the fairway and that tree Bryan hit. He said he's played this course 5 times, has hit that tree 5 times.
5 times.
He said he's 100%, 5 for 5. So,
Nasty drop-in birdie for Zack there. Just beautiful.
yeah, absolutely gorgeous birdie. So that is it for the front 9. Derek Green has the lead with a 6 under par. Zack Johnson is 2 back of that at 4 under. Andrew is 2 back of him at 2 under. And then struggling a little bit is Bryan Johnson sitting at 1 over par. So we will catch the conclusion of this action here in the back 9.
See you then.